According to the National Electrical Code, the minimum wire size for a 50 amp circuit is number 6 American wire gauge copper conductors, based on Table 310.16. Overcurrent protection must be provided at the origin of the circuit and at each point where the conductor size is reduced. You installed number 8 feeders for a circuit that should have number 6 feeders according to the National Electrical Code. The 50 amp breaker and 2-pole ground fault interrupter breakers provide overcurrent protection. The wiring diagram supplied with the unit should be considered part of the manufacturer's installation instructions. The manufacturer's instructions may have specific requirements or exceptions that deviate from the National Electrical Code. You could argue that you followed the manufacturer's instructions and that the installation meets the manufacturer's specifications. The inspector may still have concerns about the safety and compliance with the National Electrical Code. Number 8 American wire gauge conductors are not recommended for a 50 amp circuit due to potential overheating and voltage drop issues. If the inspector deems the installation to be unsafe or not in compliance with the National Electrical Code, they may require you to correct the issue. Before the inspection, consider replacing the number 8 feeders with number 6 feeders to ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code and avoid any potential issues. If the inspector does find an issue, explain your reasoning for following the manufacturer's instructions and be prepared to discuss any potential safety concerns. Ultimately, the inspector's decision will determine whether or not you need to make any changes. Let's delve deeper into understanding the code requirements and the reasoning behind them. The National Electrical Code, often referred to as the NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards designed to ensure the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment. It's updated every 3 years to reflect new technologies and best practices. Table 310.16 within the NEC is a critical reference point for determining the ampacity, or current carrying capacity, of various wire sizes. This table takes into account factors such as the conductor material, insulation type, and ambient temperature to provide guidelines that prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. When a circuit is designed to carry 50 amps, using number 6 American wire gauge copper conductors is generally the minimum requirement to safely handle that current load. Using a smaller gauge wire, like number 8, can lead to several problems. Firstly, the wire may overheat due to excessive current flow, potentially damaging the insulation and creating a fire risk. Secondly, a smaller wire offers more resistance to current flow, leading to voltage drop. Voltage drop occurs when the voltage at the load end of the circuit is significantly lower than the voltage at the source. This can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. In the case of a hot tub, voltage drop could affect the performance of the heater, pump, and control systems. Overcurrent protection is another vital aspect of electrical safety. Circuit breakers and fuses are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a safe level. This prevents damage to equipment and wiring and minimizes the risk of electrical fires. Overcurrent protection should be provided at the origin of the circuit, typically at the main electrical panel, and at any point where the conductor size is reduced. This ensures that each segment of the circuit is adequately protected against overloads and short circuits. Now let's consider the role of manufacturer's instructions. While the National Electrical Code provides general guidelines for electrical installations, manufacturers may have specific requirements for their products. These requirements may be based on the unique design or operating characteristics of the equipment. In some cases, the manufacturer's instructions may deviate from the National Electrical Code. For example, the manufacturer may specify a smaller wire size than what is typically required by the National Electrical Code based on specific testing and engineering analysis. It's crucial to carefully review and follow the manufacturer's instructions during installation. However, it's also important to understand that the National Electrical Code generally takes precedence over manufacturer's instructions. Electrical inspectors are primarily responsible for ensuring compliance with the National Electrical Code, and they may question any installation that deviates from its requirements. In your situation, you followed the manufacturer's instructions and installed number 8 feeders for a 50 amp circuit. While you have a valid argument for following the manufacturer's specifications, the inspector may still have concerns about the safety and compliance with the National Electrical Code. They may point out that number 8 American wire gauge conductors are not recommended for a 50 amp circuit due to potential overheating and voltage drop issues. It's important to be prepared to discuss these concerns with the inspector and provide any supporting documentation that justifies your installation. If the inspector remains unconvinced, they may require you to replace the number 8 feeders with number 6 feeders to ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code. Ultimately, the inspector's decision will determine whether or not you need to make any changes. The inspector is looking at the big picture, taking into account the National Electrical Code regulations and requirements, and the manufacturer's instructions. As a good practice, installing number 6 feeders will remove any doubt. Let's consider a few additional points related to wire size and ampacity. The ampacity of a conductor is influenced by several factors, including the insulation type, ambient temperature, and the number of conductors in a raceway or cable. Different insulation types have different temperature ratings, which affect the amount of heat the conductor can withstand. High temperature rated insulation allows for higher ampacities. Ambient temperature also plays a role. The higher the ambient temperature, the lower the ampacity of the conductor. This is because the conductor's temperature will rise more quickly in a warmer environment. When multiple conductors are installed in a raceway or cable, the ampacity of each conductor must be derated to account for the increased heat buildup. The National Electrical Code provides tables and formulas for calculating derating factors based on the number of conductors and the ambient temperature. Voltage drop is another important consideration in electrical circuit design. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction, operate inefficiently, or even fail prematurely. The National Electrical Code recommends limiting voltage drop to a maximum of 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. The amount of voltage drop in a circuit depends on several factors, including the conductor size, the length of the circuit, and the current flowing through the circuit. Larger conductors have lower resistance and therefore result in less voltage drop. Shorter circuits also experience less voltage drop. To minimize voltage drop, it's important to select the appropriate conductor size and keep circuit lengths as short as possible. Now let's talk about the ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI. A GFCI is a safety device that protects against electrical shock. It works by monitoring the current flowing through a circuit and quickly interrupting the power if it detects a difference between the outgoing and return current. This difference indicates that current is leaking to ground, which could be a sign of a dangerous electrical fault. Ground fault circuit interrupters are commonly used in wet or damp locations, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas. They are required by the National Electrical Code in these areas to protect people from electrical shock hazards. In the case of your hot tub installation, the 2-pole ground fault circuit interrupter breakers provide protection against ground faults in the heater, pump, and control circuits. This is an important safety feature that helps to prevent electrical shocks while using the hot tub. When selecting a circuit breaker for a particular circuit, it's important to choose a breaker that is properly sized for the conductor and the equipment it serves. The breaker should have an ampacity rating that is no greater than the ampacity of the conductor. This ensures that the breaker will trip and interrupt the circuit if an overload or short circuit occurs, protecting the wiring and equipment from damage. It's also important to consider the inrush current of the equipment. Some equipment, such as motors and transformers, draw a large amount of current when they are first turned on. This is known as inrush current. The circuit breaker must be able to handle the inrush current without tripping. Circuit breakers are available in different types, including thermomagnetic breakers and electronic trip breakers. Thermomagnetic breakers are the most common type of circuit breaker. They use a bimetallic strip that bends when heated by an overload current. The bending of the strip trips the breaker and interrupts the circuit. Electronic trip breakers use electronic circuitry to detect overloads and short circuits. They are more accurate and faster than thermal magnetic breakers, but they are also more expensive. When working with electricity, it is essential to follow safe work practices to prevent electrical shock and other hazards. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as rubber gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Finally, remember that the National Electrical Code is a complex and constantly evolving set of standards. It's important to stay up to date on the latest changes and interpretations. Consider attending electrical code seminars or workshops to enhance your knowledge and skills. You can also consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer for guidance on specific electrical installations. By following the National Electrical Code and adhering to safe work practices, you can ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems.